And right there is what I believe to be the most worn penny I've ever literally seen on a coin roll hunt of mine. You can just barely make out any detail, and this is pretty much worn slick even in the wheat ears. We'll flip it over. Let's check it out. Hey everybody, how's it going? Christian from Treasure Town here, and we're going to be doing another 5,000 penny $50 coin roll hunt. And we're going to be looking for things like wheat pennies, errors, special ones, maybe an Indian head cent or Civil War one, like we found a few boxes ago. But anyways, we're going to be hunting the coins in my hands, going roll by roll. I'll be updating whenever I find something interesting. We've also been filling out some folders of wheat pennies, and that's been pretty successful recently. We've been consistently getting at least one or two per hunt. So let's get into these pennies and see what we can find today. We know that we're not going to be skunked in this hunt, though the probability of that happening is very, very, very low anyways. But we'll start with the rolls and see what happens and see what we find next. And we got a really good start to my hunt. So basically we got two wheat pennies, both on their backs in the very first roll, and it looks like I dropped one. It still landed on its back though. And we got a 1942 and a 1956D. So both pretty common dates, but getting a hunt started like that hopefully means that there's going to be a ton of wheats in these rolls. So let's see what happens. Very next roll, we're going to get another coin to reveal here live. So we'll see what it is. Details solid, so probably going to be newer. And it's a 1957D. Still a fun find though, and we have not had a roll with nothing in it yet, so hopefully that'll keep on going. And we are continuing the roaring start with two rolls later, two more wheat pennies. So we did miss one roll, but the next made up for it. So we have a 1955 on the left and a 1937, which is a pre-1940, obviously, which is slightly better and more interesting to find in the next one. So still above the pace of one find per roll. So at this point, really happy with the hunt so far. And after a fast start, we've slowed down slightly, but only about 5 rolls later, we're going to get another reveal in, so that would be pretty average pace there. 1957 is going to be the date on that, so still no folder fillers, but pretty happy so far. After 10 rolls, it looks like we have 6 wheat pennies, I believe. 3 more rolls in, and we have a Canadian, but also got a 1956D wheat penny. That'll be something maybe I'll check for the cherry picker errors later at the conclusion. I'm currently doing $1,000 in pennies as a big overall hunt, and I'll probably cherry pick before I do the full wrap up of that, but still a solid find, and the Canadian is our second this box. And this roll had a trifecta of Wheaties, so that's awesome. 2 of them were on their faces. More of the regular, pretty common, frequently seen dates, 1957, 1944. Hoping for something out of the ordinary with this one, though. And we didn't quite get that. It's a 1941, but 3-in-1 roll is really good. Still getting a ton of pennies. Only 18 rolls into the first box at this point. 2 rolls later, and we're getting 2 more in the same roll. 1944, 1948. So again, nothing special with these dates, but still happy to be finding this many at this point. Now we've got 30 rolls left in that first box. And next roll we have a reveal and a Canadian cent, 1986 there, and 1938, cool, another pre-1941 here. Don't think that that's going to be a folder filler or anything, but still fun to pick it out and get a second pre-1940. And check this out, a few rolls later, in addition to that Canadian over there, we have a 1942 and a third pre-40. This is a 1935. Now we only have 20 rolls left, but we've already gotten a ton of finds, so I'm really excited about that. And we'll see what we can do in the last 70 overall in this hunt. We could set some new records potentially. And a little bit of a stretch without too much going on here, but we did get something after it. It's going to be a 1957D, so one of the more common dates again, but still fun to take that out. And we got 2 more, so it's been interesting how they've been coming in waves, but the coins were back-to-back in the roll, which is kind of neat. And a 1925, that's awesome, and 1941. I was going to say that this looked slightly older, as you can see from the ears, and I'm not sure if I already have one of those. I'm going to sneak a peek over, and it does look like I found one in the past, but still really fun to get yet another older one in this box. It's been a really great one so far. Literally the next roll, this one is really beat up, but a 1938, there's a ton of green kind of corrosion on it. It's definitely seen better days, but I think that this could be my best ever box in terms of the pre-40s. I think in the past I found like 6 or 7 over $50 worth, but never this many in one single box. And another one, they just keep coming. 1939, the very last year that can be considered the pre-1940, but it definitely still counts. Now we only have 4 rolls left, one of which is that ender I showed you earlier, but we're just keeping on chipping away. It would be great to get some older ones with the mint mark, because then they can fit into my folder, as I've already found a lot of the more common years, but still, awesome, awesome stuff. And right there is what I believe to be the most worn penny I've ever literally seen on a coin roll hunt of mine. You can just barely make out any detail, and this is pretty much worn slick, even in the wheat ears. We'll flip it over, let's check it out. And I'm struggling. There's Liberty worn away, 19 I can see. Let's really zoom in on that though and see what we can make out. Is that... It almost looks like a 2. And I think I see a D mint mark right there. Maybe it's a S. Actually, that could be an S. I think it's a S mint mark. And then if I had to guess, I would say that that's a 4, but it's so faint. Or is it 22? If any of you can help, let's see if I can get even closer. Not really. That would be really appreciated. Because the 24D would be quite a valuable coin. 26S, 22D would all be really great finds. And if you can help me with that, that's awesome. But what I can say is that it is another pre-1940 find. Super, super excited about that. There's no VDB, because I think that is a 2. That's the second one. Sorry that this one went on so long. We got 2 more rolls in this box to finish up. And let's do this roll live. We've got the ender there, last one of this first box, and boy, what a box has it been. I'm really excited about how things turned out. So I guess I'll just start out with this, and then we'll work our way through the rest of this roll. So 1942D, I think it's one that we've already found in the past, but still great to get that here, and maybe we can find something. There's been such a good concentration that it wouldn't surprise me if something turned up, but so far it does not look like it. So yeah, it doesn't look like it. We've got a Canadian right here, a 1984, but that concludes this box. I'll get a count for you really quick. We had a total of 22 wheat pennies and 7 Canadians, with a whopping 7 of the wheat pennies being the pre-1940 variety. So if we could continue anything remotely close to that in the second box, that would be phenomenal. And our very first roll in the next box also is going to have something, and it's on its back. This one looks like it could be slightly older, but we'll see in a moment. And what? Whoa! It's a 1909. I gotta check for the VDB. I've never found a 1909 penny before. That was not what I was expecting, and that is awesome. Is there any VDB there? Let's see. I don't see anything there. 1909, though, that is a find that I've never made. Definite folder filler. Oldest coin I've ever found coin roll hunting outside of that Civil War token about 3 or 4 episodes ago. But sweet, sweet find, and so excited to see what else we can get in the second box. And 3 rolls later, still kind of in awe at that last find, but we'll see what this is. 1944. At this point, though, this second box is awesome in its own right, so we don't even need to find a ton of stuff, but we got 1909 and a 1944 after 4 rolls. And a large amount of rolls later, I'd estimate something like 10 or 12 rolls later, we got another find. It's a 1940, so solid, and we'll see what else we can squeeze out of this box. Still got 33 rolls left in the hunt. 4 rolls later, we have 2 cool finds. So the first is a regular 1946 wheat penny, definitely chopped up a little bit, seen better days, but then we also have really nice looking older Canadian cent. We'll do a reveal. 1963, but definitely has some nice uncirculated look to it with the luster looking pretty good. So we'll see what we can do. We got 29 rolls left. And in addition to these 2 Canadians, we have a wheat cent reveal. Can't really tell on the date if it'll be old or not. The answer is yes. We have a 1920, and I'm trying to see if there's any type of a mint mark there. Looks like it's just a little blotch and not actually anything. But anyways, that's a great find. We've already got one in the folder, but still happy to see that come out of this box. A few rolls later, we've got 1985 Canadian, and then this reveal, 1945S, awesome. My guess is that I've never found one of those because I don't remember that. S is the San Francisco Mint, definitely the most rare of the penny mints to find. So very excited about that. We'll see. I'll have updated you here if it is a folder filler, which I'd guess that it will be. And unfortunately, that 1945S was not a folder filler, but we got this really nice looking uncirculated-ish or lightly circulated 1952D wheat penny find. Got some nice luster, and I'm trying to look closely at that mint mark to see if there's any signs of a repunched one, because it almost looks like there might be. It's difficult to focus in on it, but I'll give you some updates and if it is in fact a repunched one. 2 rolls after that one, we're just going to get a quick wheat cent find here, and 1952D again. And this one is not uncirculated, but is a cool addition. That's one that we've found a fair amount of in the past with the Denver mint mark. 2 in a row now, so we'll reveal this one on camera as well. 1941, pretty common date to see, but good to get a streak going. We'll see if that can continue. Very brief update, 2 rolls after, so the streak is not alive. We got a 1957D wheat penny face up. And it took a little while to get another find, but we did manage to get one. At this point, we'll have 6 more rolls to search. This one's going to be in 1944, so nothing too special, but hopefully we can get a couple more finds. 1909 first roll, though, is still awesome. Nope, that's not it. It's right here. Still kind of in awe about that find. Did not expect it when I saw that reverse. And that 1944 date is going to appear 4 rolls later, so 2 more to go, but we got another one. So this box has been pretty good in its own right without even the 1909. And we had all those cool 1940, pre-1940s, I should say, from the last one. So we'll see if we can manage to scrap out anything else. And now it's time for the wrap-up on this awesome hunt. So we had a bunch of Canadian pennies, just a wide variety. I think my favorite was the 1963 that was in pretty good condition. We also got 2 of the 1992, which I think is the 125th anniversary. There are 23 Canadian pennies in total. And then this was the cool 52D. I still have to get word if that's a mint mark that's interesting. I don't think it is, but it could be. I'll get some good magnification for you guys. And then there was just a kind of variety of relatively normal ones in the 40s as well. 42D and 45S were some of the mint marks, but we'd already found them. And then a ton of these pre-1940s, so 1920, 1925, 1935, 37, 238s, and a 39, and then a 1909, which is incredible, and this extremely worn one. I think from that angle, I want to say 26S or something, which would be an awesome find, but you never know. My opinion on that coin has changed. If you have an idea, please let me know. But this was really a highlight for me. Had never found a 09 coin before. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to get in touch with me, do so on my website, treasuretownYT.com, my Instagram, treasuretownYT, or my Facebook, Treasure Town. I've got links in the description, and I'll see you on some of my other videos.